All right, now joining us, we've got Ben Ruiz, who's the Vice President of Consumer Products and Strategy for the NFLPA. The top 50 list is out, Ben. Give me just your overall reactions.
Yeah, we're excited to share it. We think this is a great just showcase of the star power where the league is at these days, just showcasing our superstars, but also our rising stars. And we're excited for fans to be able to dive into this.
Were you surprised to see Saquon Barkley number one? I know it's been a while since we've seen a running back this high.
It has been a while since we've had a running back top the list, but how could you be surprised with Saquon topping the list? I mean, the year he had, it always felt like he was the missing piece of that Eagles team to get them over the hump this year, and what he was able to do on the field, living up to all the hype, delivering incredible plays that will, live on in some of the greatest plays in NFL history. So it was kind of made sense that he was going to be the one to top this list.
What goes into promoting athletes from different positions? Is it all about the individual athlete, or are there overall takeaways you think that you can learn from specific position groups?
I don't think it's as much about specific position groups. I think you have athletes that just resonate with fan bases. And there are guys who fan bases just rally around and, just really encapsulate what their fan bases are about. And those are the guys that tend to kind of rise, expectedly or unexpectedly on this list.
And okay, so Saquon obviously number one, but there's 5 Eagles in the top 50. Is this normal expectation from a Super Bowl winning team?
I think when you have a team that has historically been very competitive, but going into a season and early on in the season, when they see the success that they did, you do see even more excitement, right? Because there's that feeling that they could do it. And then as the weeks go on, it feels more and more real, and fans want to be a part of that.
And I feel like Philly just has that fan base. Is there another team coming up maybe this season, next season, that you think could maybe move up to the top 2 or 3?
There's a couple teams that, the fan bases are just incredibly excited. I mean, you look at what Jaden Daniels did in just shooting up that list this year with the Commanders. So I would say, maybe watch out for the Commanders showing up in a higher way in this list than they have in the past. I think there's some other teams with some really exciting young talent. I mean, the rookie class going into the Raiders is really exciting. I think, anytime you have someone like Cam Ward or Travis Hunter going at the top of the draft, that's going to move some units for sure. So I think the influx of young talent in the league is always going to shift things around.
Are there lessons that you learned just from a marketing perspective from specific categories? Like George Kittle was interesting because he's number 27 overall, but he was very high on the Funko Pops. Does that tell you that he's got potential to go higher, or it's just certain categories that players do better in?
Yeah, I think with someone like George, the cool thing about this list is you see that balance of guys that are established superstars. We have 16 players on the list this year who have shown up on this list for 5 years in a row. That's incredible staying power for having star power for that long. So I think with someone like George, he's created not just the on-field success, but just an incredible personality that resonates with people, that people are really attracted to, which creates that kind of staying power for someone like him.
Okay, I have to ask this. Out of the years you've seen this list, is there someone whose numbers are just wildly higher than anyone else, like more than you've ever seen, not just this year?
I think the run Patrick Mahomes has been on is incredible, right? He is a true generational talent. He's one of the best to ever do it, and that reflects in merchandise sales. We see him year over year over year. He's one of those players that's been at the top of this list for the last 5 years, but he always is around that top 3, and that's a pretty tough thing to establish yourself as.
Do these players find out beforehand, or are they going to find out with the rest of the public?
So they have a sense throughout the year, right? We do publish some reports on top jersey sales throughout the year, just to give a sense of, how that portion of the business is doing. But this is the first list of the year that encompasses the entire business. So it's not just jersey sales. This is apparel, it's toys, it's accessories. So it really encompasses the full kind of saleability of these players. So this is the first time where they have that full holistic look.
And I know you mentioned Jaden jumping dramatically from preseason to at the end of the year, but is there another player or someone who just surprised you by where they landed in this list being so high?
Yeah, I think JJ McCarthy was an interesting one.
Yeah.
His season was unfortunately cut short. I think fans see the potential and they see that stardom with the flashes that he was able to show early on. So it's incredible to see the fan base still rally around him from a product standpoint and show that support. So we're really excited to see what he does in year two.
I mean, then we could see maybe it even goes up now that he'll actually be out there on the field. Ben,
Absolutely.
before I let you go, talk to me about the significance of this list to the group licensing model, your licensing to your partners, and what exactly it does and means for them.
Yeah, I think for our partners, it shows a few different things. It shows the breadth of what we can offer as a collective IP. As I mentioned earlier, there are 16 guys who've been on this list for 5 years. That's an incredible staying power in keeping, celebrity for that long and keeping relevance for that long. But at the same time, every year we see a new crop of guys that come in and are making waves on this list. So for partners, I think it's just that diverse range of players. It's the established veterans, it's the exciting rookies, and it's people that are in every major market. It's players that are every position group. So whatever you're looking for to talk to fans in an organic and authentic way, there's someone on this list that can do that.
I lied. I do have one more for you. Is it tough to collect all the data? I mean, I know we've got technology, but just getting every single group market product, does a lot of time go into that?
There's a lot of time that goes into it and a lot of effort that goes into getting this right. But we have a team of people that work on this all year round. So at the NFLPA, we have over 85 licensed partners where we collect all of this data from that as an aggregate make up all of these sales. So we are actively working with those partners on the day to day, but it does take a lot of work to pull all that together.
Thank you, Ben. We appreciate you taking the time with us here at Collect and excited to watch this list throughout the season and see what athletes start climbing up.
Thank you.